Good morning. Welcome to Coffee with Alain. A little bit of somber tone today. Going to talk about the active shooting situation that happened in Florida. So that's the topic of today. Going to talk a little bit about some different things. Going to talk about a quote that I read that I hated and why I hate it and why it's not the mindset we want. And a little bit about maybe things we can do better because these things just keep happening. And we need to do better to stop them. So that's the topic of Coffee with Alain this morning. Appreciate everybody that joins in comments and listens to replays, listens to the audio podcast on the website, on Spotify, on Apple, wherever you listen. Thank you to everybody. Hope to share a few things today that might help you, make you feel a little bit better about these terrible situations. I also want to encourage you to go to enjoylifesafely.com, download that ebook, How to Stay Safe in This Crazy World. Check out the course that you can get. The ebook's free. The course costs you the price of a pizza. And keep yourself and your loved ones safe. Good morning, Thad. Thank you for being here and saying good morning. You know, I'm teaching out of a teacher mug today, or I'm drinking out of a teacher mug today. The influence of a good teacher can never be erased, because I sure hope the teaching I do on this topic, and I've taught all over the country, is helping people. You know, I wrote this giant book, Survive a Shooting, that I try to get out to people to help them. I teach this stuff all over the country to try to help people. And, you know, the incidents just keep happening, which means I need to keep helping people. Good morning, Jay. Good morning, Vicki. Appreciate you being here. We don't know a lot about the shooting yet. You know, it's still under investigation. We do know that 2 people were killed, 6 were injured, and the shooter was shot and injured by law enforcement and is in the hospital not cooperating. We also know that the shooter, the killer, was the son of a sheriff's deputy, and he acquired the firearms from her. So his mom was a deputy with the sheriff's department, and he got the guns from her. From what I understand, they weren't her service weapons. They were prior service weapons that she purchased, so she legally owned them. Now, here's something, because we've seen this a couple times already. We have seen parents sued and charged because of what their kids have done. And I mean charged criminally because of what kids have done in these terrible situations. Will she be sued? Will she be charged with a crime because he accessed her weapons to go commit murder? That's yet to be seen. They still have to do all the investigations, but that's something I'm watching for, because that is sort of a newer trend that we've seen in a few shootings where they have gone after parents because parents' kids had access to weapons and so forth. You know, I've learned a little bit of stuff. You know, they say in reporting that, you know, he had some different ideas that weren't in line with most of us, white supremacists and different ideas. But again, all of this is still under investigation. Don't know a definitive motive yet. But it's going to be interesting to see if the parent, you know, the mother who actually was the deputy law enforcement, is held responsible in any way, whether that's civilly or criminally. So that is something I want to watch and see what happens. I also, just because of studying this stuff for so much, am positive that there were probably warning signs that went ignored, because there usually are. Almost all of these kind of shootings have prior warning signs that were ignored. And I hope they recognize those and identify those. And just what we need is more and more people recognizing signs so we can prevent these in the first place. I mean, I showed you that big giant book that I wrote. A lot of it is what to do in a situation. But part of that book and part of the teachings that I do, what to do to prevent them and things to do before situation happens that could save lives. Obviously, if we can stop the killing before it starts, that is ideal because nobody is hurt or killed. And that's definitely something we need to do more of. You want to check out Dixon's comment? Dixon's here. Dixon says, once I saw the news last night and what happened at FSU, I knew you'd be discussing it this morning on Coffee with Alain. Yeah, sadly, the business I'm in, trying to save and help people when these situations happen, I'm online, I'm on the TV, I'm on radio, trying to help people with these. Now, one of the things that I hated that I read that I'm going to share here with you, I'm not going to say the person's name, but this was a person that was on campus when the shooting started, and the person locked down and then said, I was texting everybody I loved, letting know that I loved them. I was getting ready to die, which was harrowing. That's a direct quote from an individual. I hate that. Why do I hate it? Because it's not the mindset you want in any kind of emergency. Whether it's an active shooter, a plane crash, an earthquake, a tornado, a hurricane, I don't care what it is. Any kind of life-threatening emergency. You don't prepare to die. You have the mindset that you will be the survivor no matter what. This is one of the most important things I think I teach in my classes, is getting people to understand they can be survivors and things they can do to increase the likelihood that they will be survivors. And a lot of it is the mindset. You don't get ready to die. If he's locked down, you prepare that if any chance he gets through the breaches, the lockdown, you take him out. You take him out with a fire extinguisher. You take him out with Reflex Protect. You take him out with a baseball bat, a chair, your bare hands. You don't just curl up and wait to die and prepare to die. That is not the mindset you need in any kind of an emergency. You have the survivor's mindset. And one of the most important things you can do right now is figure out what you're going to survive for. It might be your faith. It might be your family. It might be because you got things to do and you're not done yet. But you figure out what you're going to survive for. And you have that mindset that nothing will take your life and you will do whatever it takes to be the survivor. Now, yesterday, 6 people, were shot and injured. So just getting shot doesn't mean you're going to die. So you got to have that mindset that you're going to survive, whether you're hurt, whether you're shot, a plane crash, and we've had terrible, terrible injuries with people, and they've pulled through and survived from different things. Mike Day was shot 27 times over in Iraq, and he survived. And he did say it was faith and family that helped him through that. Sadly, we lost him later, but that 27 shots, 16 in the body armor, the rest outside the body armor, everywhere you could get shot but the brain, he lived through that and he made it home. And it was faith and family that helped see him through that ordeal. So you need to figure out what you'll be a survivor for. And having that mindset can see you through the best of things, because we never just prepare to die or hide and hope someone will save us. We take the personal responsibility for our own safety, our own survival, and we make it happen, and we get home to our loved ones. That's the attitude we have to have. And that's the attitude that will help you through a situation like this. Is it 100%? Of course not. People do die. But we never have the attitude or mindset that we're going to die. We have that survivor's mindset, and that will help see us through. Jay said, hell yeah. Thank you, Jay. So that is one thing that I read this morning when I was researching about this to see what they had put out, which isn't much. They're still investigating. There's not much to go on yet. But I hated that I saw that. It's just like I hated a number of years ago when I watched on TV and saw someone say, there's absolutely nothing we can do in situations like this. It was after a shooting in Maryland. No, there's a lot we can do. I wrote a big giant book about things we can do, and it doesn't cover 100% of everything. There are tons of things we can do. We can do better to stop these things. We can do better to harden targets. We can do better at responding. There are tons of things we can do to save lives. But we don't just prepare to die, because that doesn't help anything. So if I can get through to anyone on this program, on other things, on my live classes that I teach, it's that mindset that you're not helpless. There are things you can do, and the survivor's mindset is the most important. You know, I've had people say, well, why do you promote Reflex Protect? A spray against a gun? Yeah, I'm not going to go down the halls with a spray searching a gunman, but if he comes through that door and I'm ambushing from the side and spray him in the face with Reflex Protect, spray him in the face with fire extinguisher, or if I don't have Reflex Protect, take him out at that ambush, it's effective. It will work. We got video footage of a kid stopping a guy with a shotgun with pepper spray out in Oregon a number of years ago. So don't tell me you can't use a spray against a gun. We got video of it. We do whatever we have and we survive. That's the key, though. It's having the mindset that I will do whatever it takes. And that's why I show people how to use improvised weapons, a fire extinguisher, this or that, and get them to have that mindset, because improvised weapons, as I've talked about before, are a mindset rather than an object. At the Korean Martial Art Festival last weekend, a friend of mine, Robert, did a class on using a phone to defend yourself. Smartphone Stupid People was the title of his class. It was a fun class. He taught how to use a smartphone to defend yourself. So don't tell me we can't defend ourselves. We can with the right mindset. Then you put a little training in that, it increases. And that's what we need more of. And that's what I'm trying to do. That's why I wrote the book. That's why I'm on the road teaching this stuff. If I can help you, your organization, get in touch with me, because that's what I do. I can help you with Reflex Protect. You know, I'm helping organizations all the time, hospitals, schools, churches, different things. Got an email today from a church buying Reflex Protect for their security people and members of the congregation, and want to get some training so we can help that church stay a little bit more safe. I'm doing that daily. I got a Zoom call with a big hospital next week. We're going to be helping this big hospital network. I mean, I'm doing that all the time, and I can help you too. That's what I do. So active shooter training, effective communication to de-escalate things. Now, when bullets are flying, the communication's off. We go to the other stuff. But there are a lot of violent situations where we can de-escalate and use our communication skills and making sure it doesn't get to the violent stage. So we got different stages of doing things, and that's what I'm helping people with. If I can help you, get in touch with me, because that's what I'm here for. I appreciate everybody that watched. I see Maurice Palmer's here, said amen. Thank you, Maurice. It was good seeing you. We didn't get to see much of each other last weekend, but you know, I appreciate you saying hello today and saying that. That's what I'm here for, everybody. Go out, make it a fantastic Friday. Get that free ebook on staying safe. That's a start. But if I can help you with anything else, contact me. We'll be back tomorrow with Book Saturday.